Now, officials of the Forestry Commission, led by Chief Executive JoyNews John, are on monitoring tour at the mining site of CNG Alaska Company in the Upper Denkyira-West District. Senior military officer Maxwell Mahama, in charge of a military regiment at the mining company, was lynched by residents of Denkyira-Obuasi in May this year. I'm sure we all remember that. Now, controversies over the operations of the mining firm in Upper Wassa West Forest caused the office of the DCE for the area. Daniel Apia Ohiming Teria joins us live for more. Currently, you're watching pictures of that when the Forestry Commission officials visited the mining site. Ohiming, if you can hear me, tell us what the officials have found out and why has this inspection or tour become necessary?
Thank you, MFA. According to Mr. JoyNews, the Chief Executive Officer for Forestry Commission, he said the exercise was so special because the mining company has been operating within the Upper Wassa Forest Reserve in the western region, specifically in the Wassa Amensi district of that region. And looking at the story, the peculiar story that accompanied it, don't forget Major Mahama was lynched in Denkyira-Obuasi. He was a leader of a military detachment over there. So the officials of forestry decided to visit as part of its monitoring operation to see whether or not the Denkyira-Alaska Company Limited has been conforming to the regulations of the Forestry Commission. So, according to Mr. Friye, who led the delegation, which included the Deputy Chief Executive, Mr. John Alote, the Commission is also satisfied with the operations of the Alaska Mining Group, especially the reclamation program that the company has started. As we got to the scene, the mining site, a lot of excavators, over 20 of them, were busily reclaiming a mine site over there, and beyond the excavators, there were also bulldozers who were busily working. The tract of land of mine is amount to hectares, but looking at how much has went in and what the company was still doing, Mr. Also even said that this is a time for Ghana to replicate such an activity in other parts of the country where we've had mining operations, so that we can reclaim the land and plant trees to restore the lost trees as part of the mining operations. And he said yes, because he's so satisfied, he wants to invite the land minister, Mr. Peter Amewu, to the area to see for himself, so that the activity can be replicated in other parts of the country. So the team tested two separate mining sites, and in all these, especially the second mining site, the mining site had already done the reclamation exercise. And Mr. Joseph says because they have done such a human job, what he would do is to send some officials from the Forestry Commission who have the technical know-how to go to the ground to ascertain and also carry further investigations to see the type of trees which can be planted at the mine site. So, I must say, it's been an intriguing thought because journalists were also taking through how the company managed to do this. Mm-hmm. And according to Mr. Emmanuel Jonas, who is the managing director of Denkyira-Alaska Company Limited, several millions of Ghana cedis had went into this, though we couldn't provide offhand information as to how much the company has spent. He said that yes, it takes so much time to reclaim the land. It takes so much resources to reclaim the land than mining itself. So the company is spending so much on fuel, spending so much on resources, having to also employ the services of another agency, another company to help the Alaska company to work on that one.
Well, I mean, the forestry authorities might be satisfied with what they've seen, but you have done some extensive work in this area. Were you satisfied with what you saw?
Sure, MFA, I have visited several mining sites, and especially including those of the illegal mining sites. When you go, you see that people have mined, but they don't have even the time or the opportunity to reclaim the land. But this time around, every of trenches dig over there either it has been covered or attempts were being made to cover those pits, those mining pits. So, as a journalist, I was satisfied, and this is not the first time I've been reporting on mining stories. I've done series of them, and visiting this particular site, I was personally satisfied, including other journalists who accompanied the team on the tour, because we thought that this is the first time we are seeing a mining company spending so much resources to cover or reclaim mining or mine sites, and it was extraordinary.
Okay.
It was extraordinary.
Okay, so briefly, just before we wrap up on Hemming, there were issues back then in May about some military personnel guarding this CNG and Alaska company. This time around, what did your checks reveal? Because I'm seeing in the pictures some military personnel in there. Are they authorized to be there?
Can you repeat your question?
I'm asking about the presence of military personnel on the site. You know that it was a subject of controversy some time back when you visited this same site. And I'm asking if we've been able to verify if they are there or they are authorized to be there.
Are you asking of the controversy surrounding the operations of CNG Alaska company?
No, the military presence there, or Hemming, if you can hear me, the military presence.
Okay, I get you now. The military is still there. The military officers are providing security to CNG Alaska company.
Okay.
They are still there providing. Even today when we went there, they were still there. As you can see on the screen, number of them are still based in Giaso, the district capital of Upper Denkyira, west in the central region, and they have been very, very supportive to the cause of the CNG Alaska Company Limited.
Okay, Ohimim Teria, we are grateful for your time. That's Ohimim Teria. He's with the Forestry Commission authorities who are visiting a mining site there in Diaso. We can now go back to the press center, International Press Center, where the GJA elections has just ended. Votes are being counted now, and Latif Idris is at the press center and joins us with details. Latif, if you can hear me, voting has ended, counting underway. Does it look like it will end anytime soon?
Yeah, you're right. It ended about 20 minutes ago, and then we had the sorting. As we speak now, watching on the screen right now, you have the presiding officer counting the ballots. We're starting with that of public affairs, the position of public affairs. And so just after that, we're going to have the organizing secretary following, and the last ballots that will be counted here will be that of the position of the GJA president. So for now, it's that of the public affairs, which has been counted. That should take us like 10 minutes, and then move on to the next box, MFA.
Very well. We'll be keeping our eyes there at the International Press Center, Latif, as voting or counting is underway since the GJA elections has ended. We'll be coming back to you again in the course of the day, of course, to know or for the declaration of who the GJA president will be, whether it will be Lloyd Evans, Johnny Aite, or of course, will it be Afil Money.